Hello.
Hello.
Hi. And can you help us? What's your name?
How'd you?
What's your name?
Well, my name is Catherine.
Oh, and how do you know everybody in this house?
Well, they're all my nieces
Oh,
and nephews, or in-laws, and my grandnieces and nephews.
cool. So now, where do you live now?
I live in Ocala.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in New York City.
Oh, what was that like?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was, they were called tenement houses, or is that what they were called?
It's good.
Yeah,
Apartment houses.
apartment houses. And we had, my cousins lived on the top floor, and there were 8 in the family there. And then we lived underneath them, and there were 8 in our family. And then in the family underneath us, there were 6 children. And the family underneath that, there were 5. So it was uh, quite a big gathering. And there was always lots of noise and fun.
And when did you leave?
Oh, I left in 1942. 1942.
And what for?
Oh, I entered the convent.
You did.
Yes.
And how old were you then?
I turned 18 in the convent 8 days after I left home.
That must have been a pretty happy time.
Well, it was.
What was the calling? What made you decide for that life?
I always had that feeling, and that I just felt that's what I wanted to be, and I just was happy with it.
Cool. What was the happiest time that you could remember?
Oh, I think when I heard that my mother was having her 8th child. We heard, and my father always called my baby brother Billy when he'd be looking out the window calling him to come upstairs. And I used to say, Daddy, we've got to call this baby Billy because the neighbors think you're crazy.
So the number 8 came. How old were you when number 8 came?
13.
And that was so number 8 came when you were 13. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. Well, we were all pretty close together, I guess, except for there was a 5-year span between the last child and the baby before it.
And then how long were you with the life in the convent?
I would say 26 years.
And you retired or?
No, I didn't retire. It was that time I had to make a choice because it was at that time that we had the what was the name? I try to think now.
The changes in the church.
Yes, which was,
Yeah,
but
the
it was
Vatican
the
Council.
Vatican Council, and with the Vatican Council, there a lot of changes came about that weren't. Some of them were good, and some of them were. Well, it's kind of hard to explain.
So you're a Vatican I girl?
I accept a lot of the choices of Vatican II. But I would just as soon it had stayed the way it was.
So are you still with the church?
Oh, positively, I never left the church. I just knew I had to change my way.
And what do you do with the church now?
I am part of the ministry of the church. I bring communion to the sick, and
Your daily community.
I'm a daily communicant myself, and I assist them. I have been very more active until we moved up here. But at this point, you have to kind of quiet down a bit. When I say that, I mean you have to accept the fact that there are changes having to be made in your life, and you just, well, I'm not too vocal, but I am very content with what I did and what I am doing.
Do you miss the life when you were full-time in the church?
I can't be full-time now. I taught, and I did a very good job when I was there. But it's just,
But do you miss it?
in a way, yes. Yes, because basically you can't shut that door. So it'll always be part of me.
Cool. Was that easy? Was that easy?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Was this easy?
Oh,
Talking?
to a certain
did good.
degree.
Huh?
To a certain degree.
Good.
Okay.